Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're all well. Welcome to this week's album of the week. The album that we are going to review this week, Gavin, is
a little bit different, Luke.
A little bit different from our usual.
We're going to throw a curveball this week.
A wee bit different this evening. Drinking an Earl Heineken Zero, Formula 1 edition. What did you think of this past weekend's race in Azerbaijan?
What do you call him on the young buck?
Oh, Mr. Oscar Piastri, the Aussie from McLaren.
Never mind that fella.
Charlie Leclerc, the Monegasque man, second place.
Right. This week, we're not talking about Formula 1. We are talking about Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. Bit of a curveball, but we said we're open to all, aren't we, Luke?
We are indeed.
And we'll give our honest opinion.
We don't discriminate.
Some of it might be positive, some of it might be negative, but it's our opinions, so that's the way it is.
It's a tasty one.
So Jagged Little Pill is the third studio album by Canadian/American singer Alanis Morissette, released on June 13th, 1995 by Maverick, and it was her first album to be released worldwide. It marked a significant stylish departure from dance pop sound of Alanis' first two albums, Alanis in 91 and oh my god, I can't read my writing. Now is the Time in 92. Jesus Christ, my writing is terrible. Alanis Morissette began work on the album after moving from her hometown Ottawa to LA. Alanis met producer Glenn Ballard when she made the move south. The pair had an instant connection and began co-writing and experimenting with sounds. The experimentation resulted in Alanis moving into the alternative rock genre that took influence from post-grunge and pop rock. God, I am terrible handwriting. The lyrics in the album touch upon themes of aggression, unsuccessful relationships. While Ballard introduced a pop sensibility to Alanis's angst, there was just a wide range of topics in the album.
Definitely, yeah. There was a lot covered in it.
There was a lot of what would you say?
I would say there was a lot of depth in our lyrics, a lot of honesty.
And like as I said to you during the week, Luke, it was completely different. I'm sure we'll get into like the vocals and all that crack and the style and all that. But like as I said to you, it was the early 90s. A female at 19 years of age.
Her choice of topics in that time as a female artist and as a 19-year-old was probably out of the box.
Mad
for those
out
days.
of the box.
Yeah.
Massive.
So
anyone else
to step up and talk about these things.
Like I'd say a lot of producers producers would have like read her stuff and be like, no, I ain't touching that.
I'd love to know.
I'd guarantee it.
I'd like to know someone who was in the game, or say someone who was maybe in their mid-20s or 30s that listened to a lot of music, that then listened to that as it came out and was there to listen or to hear the critical responses or the reception of the album.
Because like
at the time of release,
you know yourself, making an album doesn't come cheap. So someone
Definitely
to back that and be like, but supposedly Glenn was like, "Oh man, we have something here."
He seemed
all
to be
for
right
it.
in it. So what I had come across or read up on was that they met through some talent agency, and that put the two of them in contact with each other. And like you had said, they instantly hit it off. Now I can't remember which track it was, but the first track that they wrote together actually made the album,
right? Or
made the re-release of the album.
Yes.
So the first track they wrote, they said they had a track like together within an hour.
Yeah.
And then since that.
Yeah.
But they said it was, they hit it off.
I have some notes, a few little notes on Glenn Ballard here. Born on May 1st, 1953. Obviously, he's a songwriter himself and a record producer. Here's a fun fact. As a songwriter...
So he'd be 71 now. It's unreal.
Yeah. As a songwriter, Glenn co-wrote Man in the Mirror.
No way. For Michael Jackson.
From Michael Jackson.
That's something else.
Yeah. As a producer, he worked with No Doubt, P.O.D. Remember them, P.O.D.?
Yeah. They had, fun fact, they had Rey Mysterio's entrance music.
He used their music.
Well, like they wrote the song for him.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Goo Goo Dolls, remember that famous song they had?
Iris.
I'd say he was behind some of that. And Glenn was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2023, last year.
What a legend.
Yeah.
We must look up some more about him and just do some discussions on maybe some songwriters or really famous session musicians.
So the album was 57 minutes 23 seconds long, recorded in Westlake Studio in LA and Signet Sound in West Hollywood. The album had 6 singles. You Oughta Know, July 6, 95. You Learn, September 25th, 95. Hand in My Pocket, October 16th. Ironic, February the following year, 96, February 27th. Head Over Feet, July 22nd. And All I Really Want, November 25th. The album has sold over 33 million copies worldwide.
No way.
That's
insane.
It was that big.
Can I tell you a fun fact about You Oughta Know?
Yes.
So, fun fact about You Oughta Know, you might have it, but
I'm not sure.
Although we'll talk about the production of the album in a minute, but the guitarist on You Oughta Know was Dave Navarro.
Yes.
And the bass player was Flea.
That's right.
So you had Dave Navarro out of Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
And Flea from the
formerly.
Red Hot Chili. Yeah, formerly. And Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Currently,
yes. Yeah. Like I don't know. I did have some notes on that, but I don't know if I wrote them down on this. Yeah, it's amazing that she got she was fresh, artist on the scene, mixing with
the first thing I thought of when you said, it was a third studio album, she was 19.
I think she was 19, yeah. 19, 20 when she started writing it.
Writing, recording.
Yeah, and then when it was released, she might have been maybe 21, 22.
But still, have you a third album by then?
Yeah, the first 2 weren't massively successful, like I said.
She must have got into it at 15, 16 and just really went for it.
Yeah.
She must have had an absolute...
But she was acting as well. She was in a lot of TV shows and stuff like that. She was very... what word would you call it? Mysterious or something. She played... I just won't come to me now. She played a character in a movie and she didn't speak in it.
So you think there was a bit of mystery, there was a mystique about Alanis Morissette?
100%. 100%.
Nearly like that. I don't know who she is, but I want to know who she is.
Yeah. If any of our listeners knows what film I'm on about, the Fifth Element or something like that years ago.
Oh, okay. We must look it up.
So the album was nominated for 9 Grammy Awards, winning 5, including Album of the Year, making the then 21-year-old Morrissette the youngest artist to win the top honour.
The youngest lady, the youngest artist, let alone lady, to win Album of the Year.
At that time,
I
don't know. Maybe some of the young ones. Maybe some of the more recent pop artists, like Britney or some of them. Maybe.
That's unreal, isn't it?
Rolling Stone ranked Jagged Little Pill number 69 on its 2020 list of 500
greatest albums.
That's
some achievement.
Yeah, it's serious. The recording process. I have some notes now. Carry on.
Yeah, carry on with that.
So, Morrissette co-wrote the album solely with Glenn Ballard, who also produced the album. Ballard provided the rough tracks, playing the guitar, keyboards, and programmed drums, with Alanis playing the harmonica. Obviously, the harmonica is in a lot of the songs, The duo sought to write and record 1 song a day in a 12 to 16 hour shift, with minimal overdubbing later. Yeah, they didn't really touch much of it.
That's a good shift for anyone who's been in the studio.
I'm sure it's a long
that'll be tight going, especially if there's only 2 years.
Yeah. All of her singing on the album respects that rule. Each recorded in 1 or 2 takes. No dubbing.
Now that's talent.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That was her rule.
Yeah.
No tinkering with it.
Yeah,
Just
cutting in and out.
one go.
Yeah, let's go.
That's serious, you know. Let me see what do I have
Jeez,
here.
Gavin, that's something else when you think of it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think, I had this one. The first track that the pair wrote was Bottom Line.
Yes. So that didn't make the initial album.
Yeah,
That was the one that was on
which
the
was
re-release.
not included on the album, but was included on
20-year
15,
anniversary
yeah,
in
as you
whatever,
said.
the 2015, wasn't it?
Yeah, the song was written in 1 hour, like you said.
Yeah.
Immediately after the
Just
met.
when they kicked it off.
Yeah. And you have that note as well about Navarro and Flea. Morrissette stated that during the process of making the album, she was in a bad mental condition after being robbed at gunpoint.
No way.
Yeah.
Jeez, that'd put you in a bad fucking mental
Suffering from
condition
angst
anyway,
and-
wouldn't it?
Angst and daily panic attacks, and tried to overcome her troubled feelings by expressing her emotions in the lyrics. Imagine being fucking robbed at gunpoint. Yeah.
Puts a whole different perspective on the album, doesn't it? When
It
you
does.
think of it that way.
Yeah. I just have some notes then on some of the songs. The tracks then, All I Really Want, You Ought to Know, Perfect, Hand in My Pocket, Right Through You, Forgiven, You Learn, Head Over Feet, Mary Jane, Ironic. What notes have I got? All I Really Want, I just have like the harmonica. It's a really, it kicks off the album. I know you have
Mixed feelings.
mixed feelings about her delivery of her singing. I do agree with you. But I don't know what it was. I do remember being like younger back in the day, and like you couldn't get away from this album. Everyone had it.
Everyone was listening to it. Everyone had it.
It was in every car.
It had a grip of everyone.
Yeah. But I do agree with you. You that are younger, you know, you weren't born till whatever year.
98, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I suppose it might. It like listening back, it is very 90s.
It is very 90s for sure. I had made a remark to you that it reminded me of like Phoebe and Friends.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of flared jeans,
But the way she sings
colours,
too.
long hair, just
Yeah.
like not so make-upped or dolled up, or
Yeah.
just like give me that guitar and let me rock it, and
Yeah.
I'll sing away, and if it's good, it's good, and if it's shit, well, it's honest, and that's what you're getting tonight.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, you ought to know it's about a relationship. You know, she's angry. It's honest. But you know what the big thing is? I think it, for women in the 90s too, I think it was someone for them to look up to. And it was relatable to so much fucking shit that goes on in the world. And like, I think some women in her lyrics resonated with them.
Yeah.
And that's what might have pushed it too.
Maybe so, having not been around at that time, or
Yeah.
you know,
Because there was no women singing like that.
I haven't really, or hadn't listened to the album the full way through before,
Yeah.
so I couldn't really form an opinion on that.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of tunes I did enjoy,
Mm.
like, or not, shall I say enjoy, I didn't really enjoy many of them at
Yeah.
all. I thought the music was brilliant.
Mm.
Production was really good. Like, Ironic was good.
Yeah.
The lyrics are brilliant. You ought to know. Hand in My Pocket, I thought the lyrics were brilliant. Just
Catchy.
the way to, you know, like the different ones of like Hand in My Pocket, smoking on a cigarette.
Yeah.
You know, those.
And the
sort of-
video. Did you ever see the video?
No, I haven't watched it. I must
video's
watch it. It'll be
class.
good to watch too.
Yeah. And her delivery was so different on that song as well, Hand in My Pocket, you know. And, you know, everyone has done them things in her lyrics. Like, if you read the lyrics.
Or what, she had one about it's like, I'm fine but I'm nervous, or
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not exact, I'm not accurate with
No,
that, I
yeah.
don't think,
I got
but
one
it's,
in my pocket.
yeah.
And the other
And
one.
you're like, that one of like, you look calm,
Yeah, but you're
nervous.
masking a lot of shit.
Yeah, I love that because, as you say, you can definitely resonate with that, or it strikes home where whether you're a young fella or even at that age, you know, it'd be nearly like waiting on a date or something, or even there's so many. It's like a job interview.
Yeah.
Or even like when you're younger, like Awake. Do you know, something like that, as mad as it is. All of those different.
Her age has to come into it too, like, because like she was so young.
Yeah.
And like you said, people in relationships at that age, of course, you know, it's 9 times out of 10 relationships at 19, 20, 21 don't last. So
yeah, and
people go through that.
And neither are they like solid.
No.
Or like no one comes away with feelings of like, oh, that was dead on, or she was sound, or he was sound, or it's more, as you said, what was it in was it the Audio Slave one? No, Foo Fighters album. You were like, you know, she loves me.
Yeah,
I love you. I hate you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Perfect. Then the song is like pressure from within, getting approval off like a parent or a peer or someone.
We've all been there too.
Yeah. Right Through You, I have some notes. It's more of a grungy kind of a song. It
was good.
Angry lyrics about the music business, about sleazy bosses who prey on female artists, and
you were saying that.
Yeah.
Where was the story? Or
the
did
lyric
that story come from what you had read up? You had an interesting take about that.
Well, it was just her lyric, like Wine, Dine, and 69. You know, and she just, that was the thing. She didn't hold back.
No.
She was like, "Fuck it, this is it."
And isn't it funny, or isn't it ironic, that all of that has come to light now?
Yeah.
In later years of all the pests of the day.
Yeah. You know, like, that's what I'm saying. They come out with this shit.
What you've got to do and who you've got to be in order to succeed in the business.
Forgiving then is about religion. Catholic, actually, about the good and the bad of it. You Learn, kind of pop rock. It's the source of the album title, Jagged Little Pill. That lyric is in it. Song is advice that Alanis gives out throughout the song. You know, not to be afraid of your actions. There's always a response to any negative action we do throughout our lives. You know, you learn from, you know.
Yeah. Which
is, again, just, there's nothing mysterious or poetic in this. It's just,
no, it's honest and it's raw.
Yeah. Head over feet.
It's straight down the pipe, just smacking you right in the face, letting you know.
100%. Head over feet, the softer tone. I thought song talks about being best friends and lovers with someone at the same time, with Alanis thanking them for their manners, love and devotion, and I think that was something to do with some of her friends. And like, again, it's just fucking normal life. Like, that sometimes that happens. You figure out, you know, maybe we should be just friends. This ain't working, you know. Mary Jane is not about the old marijuana. It's about a friend who's struggling with depression and anorexia. So it's a
tough disease.
Tough disease is right. Ironic is a pop song. Song is about situations that are ironic, including it's like rain on your wedding day. It's so relatable and it's a perfect match for radio. Huge hit and a cool video. Final notes I have on this is, for a 19-year-old starting to write this album is mind-blowing. Her voice is powerful, her range and style, like, you know, some people might love it, some people, I'll get to my kind of conclusion at the end. I like her voice being vulnerable at times, and as it cracks and goes, I kind of like that too, because it's bolts and rust and whatever you want to say and all. It's just everything. 1 and 2 takes. You have to remember that too. You know, the lyrics from Alanis and Glenn are sincere, vulnerable, and standout subject matter from a female perspective was epic at the time. And like, to be nominated for so many Grammys kind of proves that. The instruments on the album are quite basic. You know, programmed drums, guitar. The harmonica I felt was a nice touch, but I mean, I thought it was kind of just, it was more, to me it was more her lyrics and delivery and style that kind of made it. some of the songs that aren't singles have the same feel and sound to it, which can make the listener forget which song is which. And
Yes.
yeah,
That they all sort of sound repetitive.
yeah. Overall, this is a top class record. Maybe kind of overstated that. With 33 million sales, Alanis has paved the way for so many other female artists like Avril Lavigne, Florence and the Machine, Adele. Her honesty and vulnerability is the reason this album is as huge as it is today. Her writing has got to be up there with the top female artists of all time.
Yeah. Among some of the top artists, let alone female or not.
Yeah. Like, overall, like, I'm not a massive fan of, like, pop and all that, but, like, I think myself and yourself have a fairly good recognition of music overall.
Yeah.
It's not I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to grab Alanis Morissette and throw it on. I appreciate it. I think it was a massive movement in the music industry. It's a reason why everybody knows this album, from a metalhead to a hip-hop fan to a dance fan.
To a jazz fan.
Everyone knows this album.
It was groundbreaking.
And this is why we covered it, because a lot of people have mentioned it in their, albums growing up, or memories of music, listening to in their kitchen or in their car. It was on.
Yeah, a lot of people recall this album.
Yeah, so that's my take on it. Anyway, I don't know if you have any more to say.
Look, mine's more critical.
Yeah, go for it.
I can definitely appreciate the sentiment of the album. Her songwriting, unbelievable, extremely honest.
Glenn did help a lot.
Yeah, Glenn's production, songwriting, brilliant. Alanis's voice is not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I think it's outstanding. I don't know what it is. The tone in it just doesn't resonate with my ears. It hurts for me to listen to it. That's 57 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Right.
I can't ever see myself listening to the album again. Being a real music snob, it is very 90s, yes. I did feel that there were some very, very Pearl Jammy elements to some of the songs. I'm like listening to riffs or, a chord progression. I'm like, that sounds like another song. That's just a rip off of that. Or that's just stolen from that. Now, this is all with a pinch of salt. This is solely my opinion. It's not putting anyone down artistically.
Of course,
or
but
anything.
this is why
I'm a huge John Mayer fan, and people will argue with me all day long that John Mayer just stole Stevie Ray Vaughan's licks. But I like John Mayer. Some guitar players hate him. So the same way of just this album or Alanis Morissette in general is not my cup of tea. I would have to say, from dissecting the lyrics and looking more into her songwriting, I would think she's a very intelligent lady. The way she strings things together, as we'd say, there's some hidden meanings.
Yeah.
Although there is brutal honesty, you're like, would she go down on you in the back of a movie theatre sort of thing? There are some other good stuff, really good, insightful.
She's still rocking today.
She's still rocking, yeah. Are they rocking with Morgan Wade and Joan Jett and the Heartbreakers?
Yeah.
Like, that would be some tour.
Yeah.
I'd go see that. Like,
yeah, they're still selling out like amphitheaters and stuff all around America.
Yeah, I'd love to see it just for the sheer joy of it. I'm also not a fan of program drums, as you know. It's like, fuck, just give the man his job. Or especially back then, 30 years ago. Like,
but there was a lot of albums that we are going to talk about too that has them.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was just the time, maybe. It was probably easier.
It was more of an 80s thing, I think.
Well, I suppose it's just
because
that
genre.
Because
it was synthesizers, it was different sound. But like an acoustic drummer could have done that. Whereas some of the other stuff...
And as we know, when that album was toured...
Yes.
Taylor Hawkins
then stepped in on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was awesome.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see... I saw some live videos or gig footage and he was brilliant. And they made that a lot heavier when they played it live.
I do believe it was tweaked.
That's what they say. It was sort of different. Or
it was tweaked,
They went in different directions depending on the show. Or I always found listening to her live performances, the recordings didn't do her justice. Because the live performances I would have heard of Alanis I could listen to. And then I listened to the album, I was like, I don't remember it being like this.
But do you not think towards like the end of the album, where I know exactly what you're talking about. You know that I can't sing, so I'm not going to try and do it.
Yeah, nor can I.
But like she properly sings on the likes of, what's the last few songs? Like I think it's the last 3 or 4 songs. I listened to it was so different, and it is what it is. You like it or fucking hate it. I probably wouldn't listen to it again anytime soon, but like I said,
I'd throw it on maybe down the line, or
like if it was on the radio, I'd be like,
you wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah, that's a lot. But would I go looking to search it on Spotify or look for an album?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Look, I can appreciate the sentiment. Really good album for its time.
It's not for you.
If it was in my record collection, it'd be going to the local record shop at the weekend.
That's fair enough.
So, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That is.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Jagged Little Pill. Right, before we wrap it up, we have a Patreon.
Yes, we have a Patreon account. All right, listen up, all you people out there. Myself and Gavin have a Patreon here. So we do.
And a way you can help, if you're enjoying these podcasts and these episodes, a way you can help support the podcast is to sign up to the Patreon. There's 3 options on the Patreon. Number 1, we have €2 a month.
Those euros.
Number 2, we have €5 a month.
Cinco.
Or number 3, big dog, €10 a month.
And I don't know what that is in Spanish, so.
Ocho. No, that's it.
No, that's it.
Anyway,
Ocho cinco.
For this month only, for any sign-ups, even a €2 sign-up, you are in for a chance to win. It's actually behind the camera. Is a limited edition Luke Priest Atlas Rise poster. It is a beautiful piece of artwork.
It's absolutely class. It's far better in person.
Yeah. It's,
you really get to see all the colours and the designs pop.
If you go on our Instagram page, you'll see it as a post. So for anyone that signs up this month, you have about 3 weeks left. The way we're working on months, it's like a week into the new month. You're in for a chance to win that. Everyone that signs up is in that draw. So for the €5, you get discounted merch, you get early episodes. For €10 a month, this month you're in for 2 draws. You're in for the poster and you're in for a vinyl. One of the albums that we do on the album of the week during that month, we will be giving away a vinyl of that album. So for €10 you're in twice.
Yeah.
Even for €2 in
double
once.
Bubble.
It's only going to be this month only.
The bookies wouldn't even give you that.
And another fact that I like to say is that all money in is going to improve the podcast.
It's going to be reinvested.
It's going to be making more giveaways for you, the listener, and better set up for ourselves to maybe improve things for YouTube, or maybe more cameras on bits and pieces to get better guests. So please, if you met us out in the pub or met us in the coffee shop and said, there's the boys, Jesus,
I'd buy them a coffee. I'd buy them a pint.
You can buy us a coffee. Just sign up to that Patreon and give whatever you can. Anything is really appreciated. And again, if you are enjoying it, we have up to, I think, 30 episodes now. Look.
Yeah, we're nearly at episode. I actually don't know what episode we're at. I just know that our guests, we dropped episode 17 today of our guests.
We must be touching about 30.
Near enough the same amount of album reviews and a couple of gig reviews as well. Yeah,
so go back to the start maybe and have a listen. There's a lot of good chats. Evan Walsh, Luke is playing with now, the Savage Hearts, out this weekend.
Yeah, we're out this weekend. We'll be playing on Friday night.
Yes.
In Dublin. We'll be playing in the Bunker as part of Culture Night, and then we will be part of the send-off for Multisound Records in Cavan on Saturday.
Cool.
So be sure to get your ass down to either of those.
I hope to get to that one myself. I want to give one shout out to Universal Books in Letterkenny. Absolutely class vinyl shop. They have some cool stuff right on the main street there in Letterkenny. Go in and check them out. Very, very cool shop. So that's it for this week, Luke.
That's going to be it for this week.
Thanks for listening.
Massive thanks to all of you for tuning in as always.
Catch you next week.
And we'll catch you next week.
Cheers.